Hi, Rowena. Good to see you. Good to see you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Elle. How are you? How are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So listen, guys, what I usually do in the afternoon is I come to you and I share with you some of my meetings, some of the things that I've been talking to with some of my clients. And so I wanted to share with you some tips that I have been sharing the last couple of days before you hire a grant writer, okay? Before you hire a grant writer. I don't expect that you guys will call me to write your grant because I asked you so many questions. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. But I also know that many of you guys are very, very enthusiastic about moving to the grant writing process. And so I just wanted to give you some information. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. I am really excited that so many of you guys are responding and getting on my calendar and sharing how much you've learned from my scopes. That encourages me. Hi, Amyata. Thank you so much for joining. I wanted to talk to you guys about grant writers, okay? I wanted to share with you some insight. Hi. Good to see you. God bless you. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. April Fool's Day and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for the hearts, guys. Please, please, please invite your followers or anyone that you might know who is interested in moving forward with your nonprofits or their nonprofits and really wanting to understand how best to select a grant writer. Hi, Steph. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. So for many of you guys who are brand new to me, I am Jen the Grant Guru. I've got close to 30 years of grant writing, grant research, and grant review experience. What I do and what I have been doing for close to 30 years now is helping nonprofit organizations identify the funding that they need for program implementation as well as organizational sustainability. You guys know that I've been on this rant the last week or so about sustainability and about planning. The conversations that I've had today have primarily been around grant writers, right? A lot of you guys are very, very frustrated. Very frustrated with the process of hiring a grant writer, wanting to know what is the best way to go about selecting a grant writer, understanding that there is no guarantee that you will get the funding. However, you do have to pay the grant writer, right? There is no way that you can put the grant writer in your budget. There's no way that you can pay them on commission. None of that works. None of that works, okay? Hi, Delon. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Please invite your followers to the scope. Thank you for the hearts. So, guys, you guys know that I always am open for questions. So if you guys have questions at any time, please put them in the comment area, and I will do my best to respond to your questions. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you guys for sharing. Listen, you cannot expect that you can go from establishing your nonprofit and going straight to grant writing without understanding that whatever you give the grant writer is what they're going to use to fill out that proposal. I speak to people every day who are frustrated because they say, well, you wrote exactly what I gave you. You cut and paste what I gave you and you put it in the application. I could have done that, right? And then these people charge you, as do I. They will charge you upwards of $1,000 for what? Writing your program. It's your program. It is not their job, it's not their role to rewrite your program. It is not their job, it is not their role to add to your program. Why? Help us, Lord. I don't know if I'm help or not, but I might be the answer to that prayer. Listen, guys, I have had had, I can't count the conversations this week alone. By the time they get on my calendar, they've listened to a few of my rants on Scope, and now they're saying, but Jen, I gave them, information, and they cut and paste what I gave them, and I thought the writing was terrible. I told them I wasn't going to pay them. I said, well, you were wrong. That's just not right. Why? Because they can only write your program. They only write your program. So whatever you give them, their job is to take the content in which you give them and put it in the format of the proposal. That's it. It is not their job to rewrite. It is not their job to superimpose any program ideas. Why? Because you have to actually manage the proposal. I've had people say to me, well, I told the grant writer just to write whatever they thought was best. I said, well, let's say you got the money. Let's say you got the award. Do you know then what you're managing towards? Do you know what you have to report on? Do you understand that whatever is in that proposal, you have got to provide a report back to the funder about how that money was spent? And if you're not clear about that, how are you managing that proposal? How are you managing that grant? The side of not doing it well could require that you have to give that money back. Listen, guys, do not put an expectation where it is misplaced. You call me, you say, Jen, can you help me write my proposal? I say, absolutely. Tell me what I have to do, because that's my first question. What do I have to do? Do I have to help you create your program? Or am I just taking your content and filling in the spaces? But if I have to help you create your program, I have to help you think about outcomes management. I've got to help you think about goals and objectives. I've got to help you create your budget. All you give me is a concept. That is going to be quite pricey. So when you hire a grant writer, be very clear. Be very, very clear of your expectations and their expectations. Do not put an expectation where, don't do it. Don't do it. And then don't get mad at the grant writer. Hi, God's Plan. Good to see you. Good to see you. Listen, guys, the grant writer's job is to write your program as you give it to them. If you need help designing, developing your program, now that's a whole nother conversation. But to say, I'm going to hire a grant writer and that I'm going to pay that grant writer, $1,000, let's say. I know some that charge up to $1,500. I charge a lot more than that. You hire that person and you're thinking that person is going to guarantee that I'm going to get funding. And that's not true. Not true. They cannot guarantee you funding. That's not the question. And the question also is not, what can you guarantee by me hiring you? Nothing other than I'm going to help you meet the deadline. That's about it. I'm going to meet the deadline and I'm going to get all these little spaces filled in. That's about all I can guarantee. That's all I can guarantee. Everything else, the decision regarding funding, award, or disqualification is contingent upon the quality of your program. That's it. Meet the deadline. God help them meet the deadline. I shared with you guys a couple of weeks, and I got one right now in my email box talking about Jen, the deadline is at midnight. Can I hire you to help me meet the deadline at midnight? I'm like, dude, it's 4 o'clock. It is 4 o'clock, and you want me to help you meet a deadline by midnight? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Why? Because as a grant reviewer, I know I can look at a grant proposal and I can tell it's thrown together. I can tell it was not written well. I can tell y'all were just writing for the money. Pimping. Now we pimping. We were pimping the doggone grant writer. Now we're pimping the foundation. Just give me money. Just give me the money. Just give me the money. It does not work that way, guys. It does not work that way. I don't know what that spirit is. Everybody want to be a pimp. Everybody want to be a pimp. Listen, guys, you want to make sure that whatever you present to a funder, be it a corporation, be it an individual, be it a major donor, be it a grantor, whoever, a foundation, that you understand your program. It is not the job of the grant writer. I got another guy today calls me and says, Jen, I want us to work together. I'm like, great. I'd love to work with people. How can we work together? Since you're so eager, how can we work together? Well, I need help. Okay. That's why people call me for help. How can I help you? All he has is an idea. I have an idea, and y'all know I can't stand this. I have an idea, and I want to know, do you think we can get the money? I said, well, it depends on how well thought out your idea is. I mean, like, one question leads to 1,000 other questions for me. Because what it does not say is that, yes, I have done the work, I have designed my program, I understand impact, I understand all of the activities, and I know how much it's going to cost. That's usually not the conversation. Usually it's, Jen, I got this idea. Do you think I can get funding for it? And I'm saying that's not the question. The question is, do you have a fundable program? Do you have one that is well thought out and is impactful? Do you understand your community? Do you know the people that you are trying to serve? Do you know how to evaluate value of your program? And do you know how much it costs? No, I don't have any of that. That's why my fee is usually a lot of money. Because I know that by the time they get to me, that hasn't been done. So I'm sharing with you guys what not to do. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I want you guys to be in my Periscope school, right? I want you guys to be in the best position possible. The best position possible to write a competitive grant proposal, not only a competitive grant proposal, but that you will understand how to use that program and make other asks. Hi, Yaya. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. So listen, guys, I don't know anything about notifications. I don't know what went out. But I just want you all to know that when you are considering moving forward, thank you for this. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I just hope that you guys are being empowered. I want you to feel empowered, because most people who come to me said, Jennifer, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. I got all this stuff in my head. I don't know where to start. And I say, listen, I know you don't know where to start. I can help you I don't care where you start. I don't care where we start. We're going to get started. But it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter, right? Everything begins to gel and come together regarding your program. I had one of my boot campers say to me today, she said, you know, as I was doing the budget, it all became clear of what I needed, the partnerships that I needed, my program activity, my program impact. I got it. She was in the outcomes management class last night, and she said, I went away thinking, wow, I understand how to communicate the value, the impact, the change that will be affected as a result of my program. If you guys are not able to do that, Periscope is sucking the life out of my phone. If you guys are not able to do that now, please do that. Hey, Jen, I am at university, and when I contact it won't be. Will it about to change? It's going to change. It is going to change. It is going to change. It has to change. It has to change, because it just has to change. It has to change. Now, listen, I am not, unreasonable, but it's going up quite a bit. It is going up quite a bit. Yeah, it's going up quite a bit. It is. Which is why I have decided to do Wednesday coaching sessions every Wednesday that I can. I want to be able to do some trainings, right? So I've only got one spot left for this boot camp, which is probably going to be my last boot camp for a while. Those who want the boot camp moving forward and who are in a position to really take me as a mentor, right? That's what the boot camp is designed for, is that you have me as a mentor. You have a professional with close to 30 years of experience mentoring you through the process. That is what you have through the boot camp, right? But that also requires me one-on-one, right? So you have a lot of one-on-one time with me. I just want to make sure that we're not going through this process in a rushed fashion, because I understand my computer's got this glare. Anyway, all that to say, those of you guys who may not be able to get into the boot camp, may not be able to take advantage of the grant writing boot camp, I want to be able to provide for you other trainings that are affordable and helpful. That's like winning the lotto to work with you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I say win the lotto and then come work with me. But the point is, and the reason that I got on this platform was because my friend was saying to me, Jen, there's so many people who cannot afford a professional consultant. They cannot afford to hire a professional fundraiser. And I know that, right? Because my fee is crazy. But you get the value of my experience. You get the value of my teaching, right? I don't like to just tell people what to do, because then I got to come back, repeat myself. No, I would rather show you how to do it, because I've worked in the nonprofit. I